Every single day, nearly 50 massive cargo ships pass through a narrow stretch of water between Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. From above, it looks calm, just another shipping lane on a map. But this corridor carries almost 15% of global trade. This is the Red Sea, one of the most critical maritime routes on Earth. Through this passage flows oil from the Middle East, container ships from Asia, manufactured goods bound for Europe, food supplies, energy, raw materials. It is the invisible bloodstream of the global economy. But today, it is under threat. When attacks begin, ships do not hesitate. They reroute. Instead of crossing the Suez Canal, the fastest link between Asia and Europe, they turn south, far south. They sailed around the Cape of Good Hope. And that single decision changes everything. Because that detour adds nearly 4,000 nautical miles, up to 20 extra days at sea. 20 days of fuel burning, 20 days of crew wages, 20 days of delayed cargo. And in global trade, time is money. Longer distance means more fuel. More fuel means higher operating costs. A modern container vessel consumes enormous quantities of marine fuel every single day. Extend the voyage by weeks, and fuel expenses surge dramatically. But fuel is only the beginning. Insurance markets react almost instantly to instability. War risk premiums rise. In some cases, they triple. Shipping companies must now pay significantly more to move through high-risk waters. Those additional costs do not disappear. They travel. Shipping delays begin to grow. Port schedules fall out of alignment. Containers arrive late. Warehouses wait. Factories slow production. Pressure builds, quietly, across the global supply chain. And these costs do not stay at sea. They move toward consumers. Retail shelves begin adjusting. Import prices climb. Transportation costs increase. And slowly, almost invisibly, prices rise. Not overnight, not dramatically, but steadily. Because when shipping becomes expensive, everything becomes expensive. Energy markets feel it next. The Red Sea is not just a trade route, it is an energy corridor. Oil tankers pass through daily. Liquefied natural gas shipments move through these waters. When instability increases, energy flows become uncertain. Oil prices react to risk. Fuel markets price in danger. Volatility spreads. What began as a regional disruption now influences global inflation expectations. And the response is not only economic. Naval patrols increase. Warships begin escorting commercial vessels. International coalitions deploy forces to secure shipping lanes. Military presence intensifies in one of the world's most sensitive maritime chokepoints. Above the water, drones scan the skies. Missile threats remain active. Radar systems track movement constantly. This is no longer a local disruption. It is a geopolitical flashpoint. Because narrow passages of water, known as chokepoints, hold extraordinary power. The Red Sea connects directly to the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal links the Mediterranean to global markets. Disrupt that connection, and shock waves travel across continents. This corridor carries oil. It carries energy. It carries global supply chains. It carries economic stability. When one choke point becomes unstable, the entire global economy feels it. Shipping rates climb worldwide. Insurance spreads widen. Energy futures fluctuate. Stock markets react. Governments watch carefully. Modern supply chains are optimized for speed and precision. They are not built for long detours. When ships must sail thousands of extra miles, the entire system strains. Strain introduces cost. Cost introduces inflation. Inflation introduces political pressure. Suddenly, a narrow stretch of water becomes a central variable in global economic planning.
from oil terminals in the Gulf to factories in Europe, to retail stores in North America, to households watching grocery prices slowly rise. The impact travels quietly but relentlessly. A ship changes course, fuel burns longer, insurance climbs, energy reacts, prices shift, markets adjust, and the world feels it, all because of a narrow corridor between two land masses. The Red Sea may appear small on a map, but its influence stretches across oceans. Because in a globalized world, even the narrowest passages can move markets, shape policy, and influence the daily lives of billions. Sometimes the most powerful forces on Earth are simply lines of water between continents.